Time Out with Michael, a show where we talk about everything and anything. Tonight's episode, job longevity. You guys all ready? Because I am. Let's go. Super happy to be here. It's Monday, January 25th, and January is almost over. So many new things happening. Hey, thanks for joining the show tonight. I appreciate all of you guys. Hi, Juan. How are you? Good to see you. Hey, super thanks for the stuff and care package that's on its way. Again, thank you so much for everybody that supports the show. We couldn't do it without you, and I just appreciate that. If you haven't already, obviously you probably have, but hey, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little notification bell to know when we're on, and that way you don't miss an episode or a show. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. We're not on Snapchat, we're not on TikTok, we're not any of that yet. We're not that big. Just kidding. We just, it is what it is. Midlife in the house. Yes. Beloved one. Hi, how are you? And yes, we miss everybody. So again, thank you again for watching. Thank you for listening, and hope you enjoy. If you have something you want me to talk about, if you have somebody you want me to bring on, you want to do something, get a hold of me. You know how to do that. It's easy, right? So let's dive into this. Okay, so things are going on out there, and I wanted to talk about job longevity because here we go. We're starting into a new year. Maybe you haven't had a job. Maybe you started a new job recently, and I think that my heart goes. My everything goes out to you, that those of you that don't have a job, who have been laid off, who haven't been able to work, who would like to work. I feel bad for you, and I hope that you can get back to the workforce soon. And I hope that we can get to a good workforce soon for everybody. So that's kind of what sparked this one. Also just talking with some of my coworkers, talking with some of my the people that I deal with on an everyday basis, and I just thought this was a good subject to talk about, and to find out what you guys think, and what your thoughts are on this. So I've thought about this a lot, and it's not the same anymore. You used to see those people that worked 30, 40 years, and they retired off of a pension or a 401k, and it was really good. And that meant something to be able to have that job where you could be there for a very long time. And it's just not there anymore. I don't think that the tenure of 10 to 20 to 30 years is not there anymore. Carla and Kiko. I think I say Carlo and Kika. Can I just say that? It's backwards. KK. That's, hey, what's up? How you doing? Thank you for joining the live show. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And there you go. Juan's father worked at Sony. Boom. All right. He worked at Sony 36 years. I mean, that's Kaka Ventures for short. I know, right? I'm trying to. Oh, Juan. It's just it's not there anymore. And I don't know if I'm sad about that or if I'm not. My uncle, he has worked in his industry for a very long time, although he has not worked for the same business for that long. He's worked in the same industry, but he has not worked for the same business. Kevin, what's up? Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. And so I wonder if this is a new thing, or if this is something what is just with, we like to say the millennials. I hate to say that, but that's just the group that's coming up. And unfortunately, I'm part of that thing just by a couple years. Don't tell anybody. I don't. Yeah. But again, it used to mean something when you said you worked at a place for how long you've been working there? 20 years, 25 years. That used to be a big thing. And now it's like, how long you been working there? 2 years. I'm thinking about leaving. 4 years. I'm thinking about leaving. I mean, that's the average right now for somebody to stay at a job seems to be about 4 years, and then they're out. See you later. And I'm not sure again what's that's about. I don't know if maybe the job is not if it's not uh a good, I don't know what the word is for it, if it's not piquing their interest enough. And there you go, Juan. He just said it depends on the field. Design field sucks, no respects. They will axe you willy nilly, and that is very true. That in some of these businesses, if they're not liking what you're doing, see you later. We'll find somebody different, and they just move on to the next thing. Um, and I thought about this. Job longevity looks good on a resume, and it shows good decision making skills. I think it shows that uh, you're willing to work for that company, and you're willing to do the things that need to be done to make that company successful. If somebody's in a job for a longer period, it's likely they made a good decision about the fit of the job, about the company, what they did. They've done their research, and they've gave it consideration. They know what they're getting into as far as keeping that job uh, for a lot longer. Um, and I think it also shows commitment. It shows reliability. Um, if you're in a job for a while, it shows that you've performed to the standards. Uh, you've performed to what's been required for you to be a productive employee. I think that's a big, huge thing for companies to look at it. I mean, if you're doing a good job and you're productive and your standards are there, I think they keep you. And I think you stay there because they obviously return that uh, favor towards you because you've done a good job. Um, but what is it that the jobs are doing out there that employees don't want to be loyal to them anymore, don't want to stay and don't want to be there? I mean, that's a big thing that I think about in this, and it's is the job hopping, going back and forth from one to the next. Oh, the grass is greener on the other side. You've heard it all. You've heard so many things about that, and you can't help but wonder why don't people want to do that? Why don't people want to stay at a job longer than 4 years, 2 years? Um, I mean, and Juan, you're exactly right. Juan's put up a post here. It says, not always. I had those check marks with one of my employers, and they still got rid of me for the whole art department. Dang, Juan, that's probably a blessing in disguise. You probably didn't want to be there. Benefits. That's a huge thing. Cutbacks on benefits. Yes, midlife. That's huge. But again, here's the one thing that I don't understand there too. It used to be that you would get paid time off, you would get sick leave, you would get a 401k, you would get medical benefits. And over the years, with Obamacare and all of those things, those you can go out and get your own medical benefits. It's not something that is maybe something that is valued, maybe something that is appealing in the job. Um, so I mean, now going to that, I think that a lot of us can attest that the insurance with the job is a little bit better than what you can go out there and get in single taxes and stuff. Um, and you know, yeah. So that again, that's one thing that's just been really weighing on my mind, because I feel like when I hit 5 years with my company, I was like 5 years, like this is awesome. I was so proud of that. I wanted to be proud of that. I wanted to thank my company for giving me the opportunity to be there for 5 years. I got one more year and I can hit 10. So this year is number 9. And I've had some extra time with them. So if we count it all, it's a little bit longer, but I'm almost at year 10, and I can't express to you guys how excited I am about. I've been with the company for 10 years. I want to scream that to the heavens. I want to say that, and I want to do that, and I don't know why that's so appealing to me and why it's not appealing to others. Um, and that's why I did this, because I was like, okay, what's the appeal? Why are we job hopping? Why are we moving and not staying with a company for long periods of time anymore? And there again, there is a ton of things out there. Which, again, cutbacks. There are layoffs. Obviously, with C-19, there's been a ton of things where things have just not gone a lot of people's way, and it's unfortunate because the one thing I see out there too is that there are a lot of jobs. They're just not what that person maybe was doing. It's not very appealing. It's not the 20, 30, 40 an hour job. It's the minimum wage job. And that's a whole nother subject, man. The minimum wage. Don't get me started on that. I just think that minimum wage is for some. I'm just going to put out there. I think that minimum wage is for somebody to do minimum work. That was the reason it was made. That was the reason it was brought out. Minimum wage for minimum work, for minimum skills. If you want more money, get more skills. Put forth more effort, and you'll get paid more. You'll get a higher paying job. Again, there's so many factors on things that can be how that works out. And obviously, minimum wage is different in each place, and it has to be. Cost of living. Yes, Becky, there's a lot of compensation in a big city versus a small town, and I agree with that. But again, when you look at the minimum wage, I don't feel like the minimum wage should be across the board in the United States, because it's cheaper to live here in Evanston, Wyoming than it is Orange County, California. It's it's night and day difference. And that's just the way it is, and that's how it should be. I think I don't think that's a wrong thing, but again, across the board, the same thing. I think it's a little bit. It's there. Ben Reynolds, this is what he throws up there. He says, I hate jobs. I hate working for companies. ICE had over 100 jobs. I hate bosses that think they're better than you. Anytime there was a confrontation, I was out. I think that that's a big thing as to why somebody doesn't stay at a job, which I'll get into here in a second. But when there's good paying jobs out there, people want to go after them, and we want to see some of those. And again, sometimes there's not good paying jobs, but you still have to pay the bills. And I do think you should, if things are, the way they are, I think you should still go and try to find that. I was always taught to go, make sure that I was taking care of myself first. And, I have a family, so I got to take care of them too. So can't just put that, I'm not going to work at McDonald's because I'm going to wait for that high paying job. I actually tried to go out and do a couple odd things here and there as I was either laid off or things didn't work out at some jobs earlier in my career, which is unfortunate, but I still just tried to keep pursuing and trying to find the thing that I liked, and I somehow came back to what I do now. And that there's a reason. There's a big reason. I do really enjoy what I do, and that goes into reasons to reasons why you leave a job. All right, so let's start with the first one, the most obvious one: pay. All right, most people leave a job because they're not getting paid enough, and I think that you really have to. I think you really have to step back and think, because there's so many factors. There's so many things that you have to understand about the job. There are benefits in the job that most don't see because they're only looking for the paycheck. They're looking for the monetary value, which allows them to do that. And I think, you know, for my stuff, there's, and I'm not going to really talk too much about it, but I want to say that there are things within my job that I could not do at, let's say, a bank or a major grocery store, grocery chain, or a law firm. There's not a lot that I could do. There's some things I can do in my job that I think are more than money. It's more than the extra $2 or $3 an hour I could get. And I think that that's a big factor. There's some other things within my job that are awesome that I can get that other people can't get at their jobs. And I think there's another added benefit. And again, as you look at your job, is it all about the pay? I really want you to think about that when you're in your job, and what you're doing now is the grass really greener on the other side, or are they just fertilizing it really well? Because when the hard times come, are you going to be able to withstand the hard times? Athena, thanks for joining the live show. Rosa, thank you so much. I need to make you a mod. So I don't think there's any crazy stuff going in mine. I don't have enough subscribers, but hey, thanks to Midlife Vibes, thanks to Rosa's World, thanks to Carla and Kiko Adventures. Thanks to all you guys in another live stream I participate in. I was able to reach 10 more subscribers in YouTube. So thank you so much for plugging that out. I appreciate it. On my way to 50. Okay. So let's say, tell your friends, tell people this is a horrible show and you wouldn't want to listen to it. I'm just kidding. Athena says, I have to say my job is currently the best I've ever worked. I had hard times staying at jobs. I'll just say people quit managers, not jobs. Thanks for being awesome, Mike and Aaron. You're very welcome. We appreciate you so much, Athena, and all of your hard work. And it's not always fun. It's not always the grandest, but we try to make it fun. KK Adventures says, in my past, I had 5 different jobs at a time, from office assistant to cleaning houses. When you need money for your family, you do whatever it takes. And I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. When you're down and out and you haven't found what you need, what you want, you go out and you grab that job. You take care of what needs to be taken care of right then and there. I think that's a big thing. And then it will eventually get to where you need to be. I really do believe that. I think that you can use that to your advantage. So I think that's just a big thing for me. I think that's where I would want to be. And I think most people that know me knows that I would go try to find something. And I've for the longest time, I had 2 jobs, and only just because this is what I wanted. And I liked to be able to afford things and go do things. And that meant having 2 jobs. So it's part of my lifestyle. It's part of my family's lifestyle. That's what we do. I'm trying to read some comments here. It's KK. See, it's easier for me to say KK Adventures. It saddens me when I see capable people asking for money on the street with signs that don't want to work. Yeah, I think you see that, and you I don't know if you've ever approached them, Carla, but I have. And I said, hey, I got a job for you. Come fill out an application. I'll get you to work right away. And they're like, yeah, no, thanks. Okay, well then continue to hold your sign. Now, with that being said, years ago, we did go stand on the street and sleep and do all the homeless thing. And it was intense. So I do feel for those people. If I was them, I'd want a job, because then you can do all the things that you need to do out there. So again, when you're thinking about your jobs, I think really the pay is important. Don't get me wrong when I say that pay is not important, especially for what you do. But I think that you need to really think about that when you're being offered something different. What are the pros? What are the cons? Weigh them out. And again, please don't. Well, I shouldn't say please. For me, I I have gotten older and thought, you know what, the pay is not the most important thing anymore. I mean, it is. Don't get me. If my company's watching, please don't think that I would like no more money. Always good, but again, when you're job hopping, as we talk about longevity, pay is very influential, absolutely. But there are a lot of things out there that outweigh the extra 50 cents, dollar, $2. Are you working every day? Are you at home? Are you out on the road? Are you gone for weeks at a time? Uh, there's a lot. There's a lot more than just the pay. So please consider that. Becky says, I consider pay and benefits more importantly my wellness and it does go a long way with my family life. But thankful for Josh being the breadwinner. And hey, Carrie was the breadwinner and she still kind of is in our family, and I'm very fortunate and very grateful for that. And she works her tail off. She absolutely works her tail off every day, every night, every weekend. And we just that's what we do. And KK, I agree. Becky, I agree. Myself and Carrie instill hard work as that hard work ethic in our house is huge. Our kids have chores. Our kids have things to do. They don't just like my little guy today. He wanted to go get a toy, and I told him, okay, well, you're going to do some chores for it. He didn't even blink. He said, absolutely, absolutely. He comes to us all the time and says, what can I do for money? And you know, I take my boys to work with me, and I show them what it means to be a hard worker, because I think that's still very relevant, and it's not going to be a handout to them. They're not going to get a handout. And so I just, you know, again, Becky, I agree. I will instill hard work ethic every day, all day, because at the end of the day, it's not given to you. So performance, is it your performance? Is it somebody else's performance? Is it a coworker's performance? Is it a manager or a boss's performance that causes you to leave? Is your performance that you need to be giving your performance? Is it being held back? Are you being held back? That's something that, you know, is important. You know, you have to, as an employee, you need to find your strengths, and you need to find your weaknesses, and you need to work on your weaknesses, and you need to showcase your strengths. And not only within your work, when you're doing the work, when people are watching, but when people are not watching. All right. That's when I feel like the people that get noticed and the people that get the promotions and move up and do those things are the people that just go out and do the work. They go out and do it. They don't need somebody to watch them. They don't need somebody to hold their hand. Those are the people that I watched. I want to emulate, and I wanted to follow, because it's always when you're not being watched is when you get watched the most, I feel. And people notice that. And I think that's just one of those things. So again, is it performance? Is it somebody else's performance that drags you down and says, I'm just leaving, I'm out of here? And then my next thing to that is, if somebody is not performing well in your standards and your eyes and within your group, with your circle, have you approached them about it in a professional way, in a meaningful way, saying, look, man, you know, I've noticed that you're just not doing some, you know, the work that we're being asked to do is, you know, can I help you? Do you not understand? You know, be that person that helps them out. You have no idea what's going on in their day that has just made their day not good. And a lot of times you do see that it's something that they brought from home life. It's something personal. And I think, you know, your work family is your work family, and your family is your family. And, you know, I don't mean this to say that I want to escape from my family, but we all, if I was, if I told you about it was sunshine and roses in our lifestyle and our family all the time, I'd be lying to you. And I just, I can't stress enough how important it is to understand that somebody might be going through something you don't know, and it could be through their family life, and their escape is work. And so please just, when you're before you approach somebody about that, really think about that. And make sure that you understand that, again, it could be something personal, and you could hit the wrong chord. So really be, use kids gloves, go out there, ask them, figure it out. But performance wise, if it's your performance, ask your boss, ask your manager, ask your coworkers, how can I improve? Give me some ideas, give me some tips to improve on this. And maybe that makes work better. I don't know. That's just one thing that I was thinking about. Performance. Coworkers are a big thing. If you have a nasty coworker who just is a jerk, is rude, is ignorant, is inconsiderate, he or she is rude, yeah, it's hard to get past that one. And we all have that person, unfortunately, and it's there. And it's there's no way around it. Let's not try to let's not try to sugarcoat that one. But I mean, make the best of it as you can. I think that's about the only thing you can do. I don't think that you need to put up with it, but I think that think you need to find the positives on that. Again, there's always going to be one of those. So, understand that that's going to happen. There's going to be a bad boss. There's going to be a bad manager. There's going to be that bad egg, that bad coworker. They're out there. They're the Karens and the Janets and the, I'm a part of this. I'm part of this group on Facebook, a Disney page, and they, it was quite interesting. I didn't think that I would see something about that, as far on a Disney page, but it's real. See, I mean, it's not sunshine and roses everywhere. So, look at that. Let's see. The worst thing I hate about jobs is asking someone for a day off. The person that barely knows you gets to determine if you get to enjoy life. Let me reread this. The worst thing I hate about jobs is asking someone for a day off. The person that barely knows you gets to determine if you get to enjoy life. I'm not sure I'm following that, Ben. Please explain, or somebody on the thing, please explain. So it's however you want to take it. Sorry, I was just reading some notes there. I apologize. I got sidetracked. Squirrel, Juan, I love you. Amber, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Coworkers, yes. No, not that one. This is the one I liked. I always tried to fart inside my boss's office, who was a jerk. I'm telling you right now, if any of my coworkers are watching this and they fart in my office, I'm going to be really upset. That would suck. But I guess maybe he or she deserved it, according to Juan. It's oh, we've done some meaner things, I think. Yeah. The worst thing I hate about jobs is asking someone for a day off. The person that barely knows you gets to determine if you get to enjoy life. Amber, I am drinking a Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade Strawberry Edition, and they are so good. No, that was not a plug. Maybe it was a plug. Pay me some money. Oh, that's my opinion. Okay. Anyway, coworkers are a big thing. I have found the easiest way to deal with the bad coworker is to confront them straight up. Anybody who's worked with me, anybody who does work with me, anybody who's been around me knows I am straight to the point. I am not someone who beats around the bush, because here's the thing. I got to see you every single day. I got to deal with you every single, no, a lot of days. And I want to figure it out. I'm too old to fight and bicker and freak out about it all. I'm so tired of that. And take a page out of the out of my story and book there. Talk to the person. Don't confront them. Don't figure it out. Talk to them. Figure out what the heck's going wrong. And if you go talk to them and you try to figure things out and things don't work, then at least you tried. At least both of you know where each other stands. And if that means that there's less contact, there's less whatever, then great. I mean, I just think you just do that. Okay, just talk to them, figure it out, be transparent about it. It's you're in a business to do business. It's at the end of the day, we're all going to have a drink. If you don't drink, that's fine. You're going to have a good conversation. And again, like Becky says right here in the thing, in the stream, in a productive way. Okay. In a productive way, talk to your coworker, figure it out, and see if you can do that. And again, if you don't, at least you've tried. That's my advice. Go try, go talk to the coworker. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. It's not always going to work. I mean, same like a relationship. I mean, that's kind of what it is. Some relationships work, some don't, and some need work and some don't. I mean, that's all a circle, right? In a circle. Oh, nope. Don't sing that, because then they'll get no more monetary value for me. Okay. I'm going to go back. I'm going to circle back to Ben. Ben says, like, if you want to go on vacation, you have to ask your boss. Oh, you have to ask, and your boss gets to say yes or no. I guess I don't know why that's a bad thing. If you want to go on vacation and when you want to go, I mean, talk to your boss. Don't set your vacation up and say, hey, by the way, I set my vacation up, I need the time off. And then he says no, or she says no, and you don't get the time off. Again, understand this too, Ben. I know where you work, and I know I'm not going to talk about that. But remember, there are several other people, and you work very hard, and you're very productive, and you're very committed, and you do a heck of a job at where you're at. And there's no doubt about that. And you work hard, and it shows. You're able to provide for your family, but do understand there are several other people there that want it. And he says, I know what you're saying. I just hate asking to enjoy life. That's part of the world. That's part of the corporate world. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. And I don't think it's really that they don't want you to enjoy life. But there are some companies out there that demand tons of work. And where I work, I am very fortunate that my company knows that, family is first, and your well-being is first. And let's face it, if you can't take a few days off, and enjoy yourself and not worry, and the company can't go on without you for a few days, then I think that company needs to really evaluate what they're doing, because they can figure it out. They can handle it. And here's the other thing, be a good employee and set them up to be able to be successful while you're gone. I think that's a big part of it too. It can't just be on the employer. Be on the employee. Be that good employee that sets that person up, so that they, the company up, so that they don't have to bug you or take away from your vacation for you to enjoy your life. And holy cow, Becky, you hit the nail on the head. Until you a boss, you don't know what it's like to be a boss. And I think that was from Josh, actually. I can tell you, I took a leadership position, and I called every one of my bosses and said I was sorry because I thought I knew everything as an employee. And boy, was I wrong. And to this day, today, not going to name any names, but yeah, you told me I screwed up big time. And it was, but I learned. I figured it out. There you go, Ben. Exactly. Okay. Main point of Ben's whole rant on the whole thing is that he hates jobs and he just wants to work for himself. Boom. Go after it. What are you waiting for? Go do it. Well, seriously, what are you waiting for? Go do it. I don't know why you have to wait. Go find it. And you can't tell me that it's not out there. It's out there. You just have to find the ways to get there. And Becky is the boss, just so you know, all the time. And yes, Amber, you are right. It's still a business at the end of the day. They rely on employees to run the business, and you're absolutely right. And they still have to do that. And if you have a good business, and there are a lot of them out there, they will absolutely take care of you. They really will, because they depend on you. They need you. They'll give you a few days off. They will. I've only talked to my boss twice. There is lots of levels working here. Yes, there are. And I know you're working on it, Ben, and I'm super proud of you. I couldn't do this without you, Drama City Productions and his podcast network. So thank you very much, Drama City Productions and Ben, for being able, you give me an out for me, and I love that. Hopefully one day I can be popular and just do this. It would be awesome. That would be so awesome. So anyway, let's take a quick pause in what we're talking about. I'm going to share the screen because tonight's sponsor is the Wyoming Army National Guard. And I just can't thank them enough for helping in the sponsorship to make this show possible. We learned a lot last week about what was going on with the Wyoming Army National Guard, things I had never understood. And I thought it was really interesting. You think about the Army, you think about the military, and you always revert back to what? Fighting, war, things like that. And holy cow, was I was so wrong. There are so many things out there in the Wyoming Army National Guard. Ben, check out the Wyoming Army National Guard. Maybe you can go out and be a broadcaster and turn podcasting into full time. They'll pay for your school 100%. And there's a lot of extra incentives in there. And it's really, really cool. So yes, Lori Jean Carlson, thank you for joining the stream and for watching. I appreciate that. Donna's been at the same job for 30 years. That's awesome. So yes, big shout out to Wyoming Army National Guard. Please go down to, and I forgot the address. Dang it. It's the Armory. Sean, where are you at? Lisa, where are you at? Tell me where it's at. Anyway, it's down on 2nd Street over by EMS and the LDS church down there. You can go talk to Sergeant Sean Todd. Wait, maybe he's a captain. Sergeant First Class. He's Sergeant First Class Sean Todd. He is the Wyoming Army National Guard recruiter here in Evanston, Wyoming. Go check him out. Go talk to him. See if it's for you. See if that's what you want to do. And he's going to get you put in the right direction. If it's not for you, I promise you he's going to be as real as you could ever find somebody. And he will let you know that, hey, this is not for you, but this is. So go check him out. Thank you very, very much for your sponsorship, Wyoming Army National Guard. Okay, so back to the show. Job longevity. If you've just joined us, we're talking about longevity at a job. It's just kind of non-existent. You see people working at jobs for 2, 3, 4 years, and then they're out. They're going to a different thing, and then on to something different. And so I kind of wanted to dive into that as to why. So a couple things we've talked about is pay. We've talked about performance. We've talked about coworkers. is there a better opportunity out there? Is that why you leave the job, because there's a better opportunity? And there has been several different opportunities for people out there to be able to be more successful, better themselves and their family. And it just happens. It's not a, and I think that you need to remember that if it's a better opportunity, don't be ashamed of that. I don't think you should be ashamed if you're bettering yourself and your family. You're bettering basically your portfolio. But I mean, you have to understand it. I mean, is really read into it for the betterment of the opportunity. And make sure you do your research. There's a lot of people out there that that want to bring you on, and they promise you a lot of things, and it ends up not being what you get, and it's so unfortunate. So I always like to tell people, if it's a better opportunity, make sure that it is, and that it's really worth what you want to do. I can tell you right now, if you have, and this is just my opinion, if you have a good steady job and you have something that you are enjoying and you want to go find a better opportunity, just with what's going on in the world today with C-19, a new presidential election, and I'm not saying that Biden's the a problem. What I'm saying is, regardless of what happens anytime during a presidential election year, and again, now that we have C-19, it's very scary to be at the bottom of the food chain again. If you're up there and you're in the mid and the top, really think about that. If now would be a good time to make that career change, that career move. If you've done your research and you feel as though that's a good thing, boom, go for it. Don't hold back. Don't worry about it. Just go. But if you have questions, there's something inside you, inside the force of the world, telling you, maybe you ought to stay. Maybe you ought to hang out. And I think that it's just, the big man, God, telling you, hold on, not now. Yes, in a minute, not now. Ben says truck driving is its own crazy ecosystem. Drivers are kind of in charge. Companies are always hurting for drivers, so we can kind of pick and choose. Yes, you're absolutely right, Ben. There are a lot of truck driving jobs out there, and you can pick and choose. But what I am finding is that there's not a lot of picking and choosing for a ton of things. That where they used to be more picky, they are not as picky now. And Becky, you're right. She says it's hard right now. It is hard. And if you go to where Becky's at in the can I tell them where you're at, Becky? Let me know. If you go to where they're at in California, it's hard. Look at what California is going through right now. Thank goodness that goofy guy, Governor Newsom, decided that he was going to lift the restrictions. So that's going to help those guys out. There's weird noises in my studio. Ben, there's weird noises in the studio. It's an old building, but it's fun. But anyway, yes, down there in Orange County, it's very hard to find a job. Very hard. And it's not that they're in a different place right now. And unfortunately, that's, if you guys know Orange County, that's right around Disneyland. A lot of things are non-existent, and a lot of things non-existent in California. And there's a lot of things that it's hard out there. And so if you have a job, that's awesome. If you don't have a job, I pray for you. I pray for that you can find a job and that you can help your family out, because the benefits are running out, things are going out, and it's hard. So, I pray for you that you find a job and that you can take care of yourself and your family or whoever. I hope that you get a job, and if it's just for a minute, great. and then if you can get back to what you were doing before you were laid off or furloughed or however, I hope you can get there too. So now I'm rambling. My wife would say I'm rambling. So let's move on. Loss of interest. Did you lose interest in your job? And why did you lose interest? Was it because, there's a couple factors that I think about this and losing interest. Was the job not, in certain jobs, it just is methodical. It's the same thing every day. It's the same thing. There's nothing that changes. So you lose interest. You want to do something else. You feel as though that you've reached your limit. You've reached your capacity, what your strengths are to be there. So you lose interest. It is in my line of work. I promise you, year to year, month to month, week to week, it changes every time. Every Halloween is different. Every Christmas is different. Every summer is different. And I think that's why I'm so happy doing what I do, because, again, I think it's ever changing. And so, it's not the same thing every day, every month, every week, every year. It's always changing. It doesn't matter. There's a few things that are very similar and very that do stay the same, but there's so much that changes in the industry that I'm in that it's like a new job every year. It's a new job every month, and I like it. So loss of interest. I think that's a big thing. And did you lose interest because of, again, of the job, or did somebody not push you enough to where you were at? Which brings me to my very last thing. And I think that this is, very relevant in the world today. You see you see a lot of posts about this, and I've looked at both sides of this every which way for the past, it's been 5 years, 6 years, on how things go. And then I'm going to even extend that into 15 to 16 years, in my work life and experience. And, somebody on the show earlier said that you don't leave a job, you leave managers and bosses. I think that's true to some extent. But I can tell you that I can tell you right now that I should say every boss and manager, it doesn't matter who you've dealt with, who you've been a part of, where you've been a part of that. I can promise you that every one of those, at least 98% of those managers or bosses that you have quit, that you have said you quit because of them, or you leave, every one of them is contemplating, did you leave because of me? And when that happens, it changes their whole aspect. They change things. They want to change things. They don't want to be that person. And I know that because a couple of my bosses, I had experienced with them in the last 15, 20 years. They asked me, are you leaving because of me? Are you going because of me? And my answer was never yes or no. But I certainly wasn't the person to say, no, it wasn't you, when it was, or no, I'm again, that's a hard subject. It's a hard thing to deal with. But I can tell you that most managers, when they're managing their people, when they're managing and being that person, they do want the best out of you. They want the best for you, and the best for the company that you're working for. And if you leave because of a manager or a boss, however, whatever, and you have a chance to talk with them, give them honest feedback. give them if they are the reason that you've left, give them honest feedback, because how in the hell are they going to grow as a leader, as a boss, as a manager, if you don't tell them? And I promise you that every one of them wants to know if they screwed up, how, why, and what they can do to change. Now, it might not happen, but at least you've told them. And I feel like, and maybe I'm just being optimistic about this. I feel like all of them want to improve. And if you tell them that that's why you left, that gives them a chance to sit back and figure out. I mean, let's face it, you could be a really bad employee and you could be horrible, and you just don't want to conform. You don't want to change. You don't want to adapt. You don't want to work for them, and you're going to blame them. And I promise you that if you are honest with them and tell them that you're the reason I'm leaving, that they're gonna change some of their ways if it's warranted, if it's really relevant, that you're the reason. That if you told them you're the reason that you're leaving is because of them. I think that's one of the hardest things. For job longevity, you have to have a good boss, you have to have a good manager, a good leader, you have to have a good team, you have to have, it's all got to fall into place. But again, you are also a part of that whole equation, and sometimes you have to bite the bullet, sometimes you have to take the high road. But again, it does nothing but a disservice to your bosses or managers if you are leaving the company because of them and don't tell them. I mean, you're not leaving them, right? Because you love the job and you loved your coworkers and you loved everything about that. So what's that going to do? Because now you've left all of your job people, and you've left your coworkers to deal with the bad person. Wait a minute. Now you just, come on again. Give them honest feedback, give them real life stuff so that they can improve, so that they can be better. I can tell you that I talked to a manager that I had before, and I said, I'm leaving because of you. I don't want to be here because of you. You don't make the job fun. You don't make work fun. I don't enjoy being here because of you. And I wish that was different, because the days that it is good and you are on point, I enjoy work. I said, but it's too far. What happens on a day-to-day basis, it's too much. Several years later, he called me and said, "Hey, I remembered what you said, and it was really hard to hear that. I thought that we just butted heads, but I took what you said, and I tried to improve that and remember the problems that we had amongst each other, and I tried to improve that. And some battles I won, and some battles I still lost. But I feel like I was better for that, and that was good to hear, because I feel like I gave that person some value, and yet midlife, you're right, value yourself. And I think, again, don't think that it's a bad thing to tell. Again, I'm very transparent. I'm very real, down to earth. Anybody that's worked with me or worked by me or around me, I'm very down to earth. I'm very straightforward about it. It's about business, and at the end of the day, we're going to be good friends. And I just, I'm all about business. I want to make sure that the business works, and I want work to work, and you should take pride in that, and you should value work. You should value yourself, and you should value everything about that. And I agree with that. So again, if I just, I encourage you to, and be tactful. Don't be a jackwagon when you go, "Oh yeah, you're the worst boss ever and manager. I couldn't deal with you." Just be honest with them. Look, we didn't agree, and I couldn't get along with you. And, every time you asked me to do something, I felt like you were, you wouldn't ask anybody else to be that, you do that. And it's not working, give them some advice, because I guarantee the second that you become a leader, that you become a boss, that you become a manager, You're going to look back at all those times that you didn't get along with your bosses or your managers, and you're going to wish every single day that if you lose an employee, if an employee leaves, depending on whether it's pay, performance, coworkers, loss of interest, better opportunity, or you as the boss, you're going to want to know because you want to improve it, because you don't want to be like that boss that you had, right? So give them some feedback, give them some honest feedback so that they can improve, so that maybe you help the next person out. Or again, it's going to come back to you. I promise it will. It's yeah, I've had to deal with my jackwagon self. Oh well. It's good learning experience. But anyway, I just again wanted to talk about the longevity of a job, because it kind of blows my mind. Again, so many people are not spending the 10, 20, 30, 40 years at a job anymore. It's more, I think the average I looked at was like 4 or 5. And again, not that it's a bad thing. I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to see about it. I wanted to, get your thoughts. I appreciate everybody on the stream tonight. It's such a blessing that you guys watch and that you support me. And if you haven't already, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Time Out with Michael. Also on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe over there. Hit the notification bell, hit a big thumbs up, because that helps the channels, that helps the videos, and leave a comment. Michael, you're horrible. It's probably the worst show I've ever heard. Or you can just leave a nice comment and say you cool, you rock, and I like Bud Light seltzers as well. Thanks again to Drama City Productions for letting me do my thing in the studio. It's always a pleasure to be in here. If you have something that you want me to talk about, if you want me to hit home with, let's do it. Again, I thought longevity on the job was a good thing, just because it's the new year and there's a lot of jobs out there, BLS, Kevin. Yes, BLS. I'm going to take a drink. Hold on. Been talking all day. Well, that's what I do. Talk all day. So again, everybody, I appreciate everything. I appreciate your support. And again, let me know if you had anything else. If you didn't leave a live stream comment, leave a comment in the comments in Facebook. If you watched it on Facebook or if you watched it on YouTube, that's so awesome. Again, Monday nights at 7 p.m. We'll be back here next week. I think we're going to have a double dual show next week. Wait, let's see. Next week, that's not the Super Bowl, so we're good. That's coming up too. Exciting stuff. So again, thank you. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll talk to you later.